Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of third person series. In previous episodes I worked on creating this weapon pickup system. As you can see now I can pick up the first weapon and it will be placed in my hand, and after that every weapon I pick up it will go to its related holster. But it is not that my desired result. So in this episode I'm going to complete this weapon pickup system. But before that I'm going to show you how to fix this issue. For example, when I'm going to pick up this AK-47, as you can see it won't place in my hand socket properly, and now I'm going to show you how to fix it. Alright, as I told you in previous episodes, I'm using this FPS weapon bundle. Now I open weapon folder, meshes folder, and here as you can see I have lots of weapon meshes. Here I open KA-47, and here as you can see I have two different versions of AK-47 skeletal mesh. This one is SK_KA-47_X, and this one is SK_KA-47. But if I open my AK-47 blueprint class, here as you can see I'm using this SK_KA-47X, but when I created this socket for my character, here let me show you. Alright, as preview meshed I used this version SK_KA-47 without X. So I should replace my AK-47 mesh with correct version. So I open my AK-47 blueprint class here, and all I need to do is to replace this SK_KA-47X with SK_KA-47 because my socket is fixed with this version. Okay, now I compile, and if I go back to scene, as you can see this actor has been, actually the mesh has been rotated 90 degrees. It is because of difference between rotation of these two versions of AK-47. Now I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees again, and as you can see if I now pick up this weapon it will place in my hand properly. Okay, now I go back here and open my master weapon class. Here I have this function set weapon state, and as you can see here I have set collision profile name for dropped and equipped states, but in hand state is remaining. So I simply select these three nodes and copy and paste them with Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V here, and I connect this execution pin to in hand. And alright, here this simulation should be false. Now I compile and close my master weapon class. Now I open my weapon system component, and here I have two macros, one check rifle holster and check pistol holster. First I open check rifle holster macro, and here if you remember I left this false part with a reroute node and this to do comment. Now I'm going to remove all of them, and here I drag and drop equip on equip function and connect it to false section. And for the weapon, here I search for in hand weapon or easily I can connect this to this one. My in-hand weapon should be unequipped, and I leave this want to equip input to false, and I connect this execution pin to full holster. Okay, now I compile and open check pistol holster, and exactly just like rifle holster macro, here again I drag and drop my equip unequip function and connect it to the false part of this branch node. Here after second is valid check, I have this branch node, connect false part to here, and I simply connect my in-hand weapon to here, and want to equip should be false, and I connect it to full pistol holster. Okay, now I compile, and now I create another function inside my weapon system component, and I name it swap weapon. Alright, now here I add a new input and I name it the weapon in type of master weapon object reference. Master weapon object reference. Alright, now here I drag and drop get a slot based on weapon function, connect it to here, and connect the weapon to this one. And now I promote this weapon slot output to a local variable, and I name it next weapon slot. Alright, and I also promote this holster name to a local variable, and I name it next weapon holster. Alright, now here I get my in-hand weapon, and again I get this get a slot based on weapon function and connect my in-hand weapon to the weapon input, and again I promote this weapon slot output to a local variable, and I name it in-hand slot. And I also promote this holster name to a local variable, and I name it in-hand holster. Okay. Now I get my in-hand weapon. Now I drag a node and search for attach actor to component. And I connect it here. I set location, rotation, and scale rule to snap to target. And for parent I need my character mesh, so here I have my character reference variable here. I get it, I drag and drop it here, and now I drag a node and search for get mesh and connect my mesh to parent, and for socket I just connect it to in-hand holster local variable. And finally here I drag a node and search for set weapon state. Sorry, I drag a node from my in-hand weapon and I search for set weapon state, and I set it on equipped and connect it to here. And then I set this in-hand weapon to none, I just simply drag and drop it on this execution pin, so it will be get a setter of this variable, and it will be set to none. After that, I just set these two booleans to false, this one and this one, both to false. And after that, I get my equip unequip function, drag and drop it here, and here I right click and search for the weapon. This is actually my input of this function. I connect it to the weapon input of this equip unequip function, and I set this input boolean input want to equip to true. Alright, now I compile and close my weapon system component, and here I open my weapon input enumeration, and here I add another enumerator and I name it sheath. Alright, now I save and close this enumeration. Now I open my weapon system component, and here inside event graph I have this equip event, and now here I'm going to make a little changes. After this second branch that checks has weapon equipped, this function is false. After this branch I add another branch here. Alright, and I check this weapon input is not equal to sheath. Alright, and I connect it here, and here for the true part I drag a node and now add another branch, and here okay, here again I get my weapon input and I check it is not equal to sheath and connect it here. Alright, let's make some room here. Alright, now I get my input based on weapon function here and connect it to this one, and for true part I call my swap weapon function, the function that I just created, and now I connect the input based on weapon output to this input, and for false part I call my equip unequip function. Okay, and I connect it here, and I also connect this weapon output to here, and after that after this equip unequip I set my rifle equip to false, yes, and also handgun equip to false. Okay, now I compile, and I'm going to make some changes inside this equip unequip function. So I open it up, and here after this branch in false section I just need to, before setting this rifle equipped and handgun equipped to false, I just need to set in hand weapon to none. Simply I drag and drop it here on this execution node, get setter of this variable, and it will be set to none. Now I compile and run the game. Alright, now if I pick this Mac-10, this handgun, it will go to my hand socket, and after that I can pick up this one and this one, and after that if I pick this again, the rifles both go to holsters, and in handgun will be replaced with this Mac 10. Totally in this system that I created in this tutorial, I can carry two rifles and one handgun, but with methods and functions that you learned in this tutorial series. You can create your own weapon pickup system. Alright, I think that is enough for this episode, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to swap between your weapons with inputs and also animations. Alright, if this tutorial was useful for you, please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.